Be ready. Your arrival here is no accident. You might dismiss this as just another video in the endless stream, another fleeting voice lost in the scroll. But every step you've taken, every moment of pain and confusion has been guiding you to this very moment. For what feels like an eternity, you've been walking through a fire unseen by others, carrying burdens you couldn't explain, fighting silent battles that would have crushed anyone else. You felt alone, misunderstood, even abandoned by the very universe you were told to trust. That relentless testing, being pushed to your breaking point again and again, was never in your head. It was real. A final divine trial crafted for you, the chosen one. And now, the results are clear. The universe hasn't given you a grade in letters or numbers. Your evaluation is far beyond that. Your grade is a state of being. Your grade is breakthrough. This message had to find you today, right now, to pull you from the quicksand of your own negative thoughts so that you can finally understand what is happening and begin to soar. I need you to confirm that you are ready to accept this truth and the transformation that comes with it. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and comment 77 below to signal to the universe that you are open and receptive. And let this video play in the background, even on silent, after you have finished watching. By replaying it, you are anchoring this energy and confirming that you are ready to accept the help that has been orchestrated for you. Chapter 1. The silent classroom of your life. For years, you have been sitting in a classroom that only you could perceive. It had no walls, no desks, no chalkboard, yet the pressure was more intense than any academic institution. This classroom was your life. The lessons were taught in the deafening silence of lonely nights, in the sting of betrayal from those you trusted, in the gut-wrenching moments of failure when you had given your absolute all. You looked around for a teacher, a guide, anyone to give you a hint, but you found none. People offered you hollow advice, platitudes that felt like salt in your wounds. Just think positive, they would say, completely oblivious to the war you were waging within. Everything happens for a reason, they'd parrot, without a clue as to the sheer brutality of the reasons you were enduring. They couldn't understand the curriculum because it wasn't written for them. This was a masterclass designed for the soul of a chosen one, and you were its sole student. The silence was part of the design. It was meant to force you to find the answers within yourself. When no external voice could comfort you, you had to learn to generate your own comfort. When no one else validated your pain, you had to learn to become your own witness, your own advocate, your own compassionate friend. Every time you were knocked down and had to pick yourself up, with no applause, no encouragement, no one even noticing you had fallen, you were mastering the core subject: sovereign strength. This is a strength that doesn't depend on external validation. It is forged in the abyss and becomes an unbreakable part of who you are. You thought you were being punished. You pleaded with the universe, with God, with whatever higher power you believe in, asking, why me? What did I do to deserve this? You saw others gliding through life, seemingly untouched by the kind of relentless, soul-crushing challenges you faced daily. Their lives looked like an open book test, while yours was a brutal, closed-book final exam in a language you were still learning. But you misunderstood the intention. It was never a punishment. It was preparation. A standard piece of steel is not put under immense pressure and into extreme heat. Only the highest grade of ore, the kind destined to become the sharpest, most resilient sword, endures that process. You were that high grade. The universe saw your potential, your divine spark, and knew you could handle the fire because of what you were destined to become. The isolation was a necessary cocoon, protecting you from the limiting beliefs of others. If they had seen the full extent of your struggle, they might have convinced you to quit, to play it safe, to shrink yourself to fit their definition of possible. Their fear would have become your cage. The silence was a crucible, burning away everything that wasn't authentically you. The people-pleasing habits, the inherited fears, the societal conditioning, leaving only the indestructible core of your spirit. This silent classroom was your sacred training ground, an agonizing but ultimately holy place where your true power was born. Chapter 2. The questions you never knew you were answering. The exam you just passed wasn't composed of multiple choice questions or essays. The questions were life experiences, each one a complex, multi-layered problem designed to test a specific quality of your spirit. You didn't use a pen and paper. You answered with your choices, your tears, your endurance, and your integrity. One of the main questions on this exam was, can you maintain your compassion while your own heart is breaking? You were presented with people who were selfish, cruel, and manipulative. You were given every reason to become bitter, to build walls of stone around your heart. The test was to see if you would. Every time you chose kindness when you were met with cruelty, every time you felt the searing burn of a desire for revenge, but instead chose the difficult path of empathy for someone else's pain. Even while drowning in your own, you were answering the question correctly. Another key question was, will you find your value internally when the external world tells you that you are worthless? This question came in the form of job rejections, financial struggles, and social exclusion. It came from the voices of critics, doubters, and even your own inner saboteur whispering that you were not enough. You were stripped of the external markers of success that society uses to measure a person's worth. The test was to see if you would crumble, or if you would dig deeper and find a source of self-worth that no one could ever take away. You answered this question every morning you got out of bed and faced the day. Every time you pursued a passion that didn't pay the bills. Every time you looked in the mirror at your exhausted reflection and chose to love the person you saw despite the world's judgment. There was also a devastatingly difficult question. Can you learn to forgive what feels unforgivable? This applied not only to those who had wronged you, but also to yourself for the mistakes you made while you were just trying to survive. It was a test of grace. Every time you let go of a grudge that was poisoning you more than the other person, you were passing. And finally, the ultimate question, can you learn to trust the divine plan when all evidence suggests you have been abandoned? This was the ultimate test of faith. It unfolded during periods of prolonged darkness, when your prayers seemed to echo back from an empty heaven, and every door you knocked on remained bolted shut. You were pushed to the very edge of your belief system, to the cliff of utter despair. The test was to see if you would surrender to that despair, or if you would surrender to a higher wisdom, trusting that there was a purpose to the pain, even if you couldn't see it. You answered this question in the quiet moments of surrender, when you finally let go of the need to control the outcome, and simply whispered into the void, I don't understand, but I trust you. You were answering these questions every single day without even realizing it. The universe wasn't looking for perfect answers. It was looking at the way you wrestled with the questions. Chapter 3. How your scars were graded as strength. In a normal exam, your paper is marked with ticks and crosses. But in this divine examination, the grading system is entirely different. The universe doesn't look for a clean sheet, it looks for the evidence of your struggle. It looks for the scars. Every scar on your soul, every tear stain on the pages of your life was not a mark against you. It was a point in your favor, a badge of honor. Those moments when you thought you had failed spectacularly, they were seen as moments of profound learning and immense bravery. That business that collapsed, that relationship that ended in heartbreak, that time you trusted the wrong person, these were not failures. They were the most difficult questions on the test, and your survival, your ability to get up one more time, was the passing grade. Your scars were graded as proof of courage. They show that you were in the arena, that you were willing to fight for a life of meaning, that you didn't sit on the sidelines in safety. A warrior who has never been wounded is not a warrior. They are a spectator. Your wounds are your credentials. They prove you have been tested in the fires of reality and have not been consumed. Each one is a repository of wisdom, a lesson that is now encoded into your very being. The universe graded your integrity under pressure. It watched you when no one else was watching. It saw you return the wallet you found, tell the truth when a lie would have been easier, and keep a promise when it was deeply inconvenient. It saw you uphold your moral code when you were tired, broke, and heartbroken. This integrity, this refusal to compromise your soul for temporary comfort, earned you the highest marks. It was your demonstration of spiritual mastery. Even your moments of righteous anger were graded, not as a negative mark, but as a sign of a spirit that refused to become passive, a soul that recognized injustice and refused to accept it. It showed you still had fire. Your tears were graded as a sign of a heart that was still open. In a world that encourages numbness and cynicism, your ability to feel deeply, both your own pain and the pain of others, was seen as a superpower. Your tears were not weakness. They were a holy water that cleansed your spirit and kept it soft and receptive to grace. The universe looked at you, the chosen one, and it didn't see someone broken. It saw someone who had been beautifully broken open. It saw that the cracks and fissures you tried to hide were the very places where the light could now pour out. Your grade of breakthrough wasn't given to you in spite of your struggles. It was given to you because of them. You didn't just pass the exam. You embodied the entire curriculum. Chapter 4. The Certificate of Breakthrough. Your grade of breakthrough is not a piece of paper you hang on the wall. It is an energetic shift so profound that it will reorganize your entire reality. This is your certificate, and it has already been issued. You may have already felt the first signs of it. It doesn't always arrive like a lightning bolt. More often, it begins as a quiet, internal dawn. It's the morning you wake up, and the familiar weight of anxiety on your chest is noticeably lighter. It's the moment you are in a conversation, and you hear yourself speaking your truth without fear of the consequences for the first time. It is a sudden, inexplicable feeling of peace that descends upon you in the middle of an ordinary day. A deep knowing in your bones that everything is and will be okay. This breakthrough is a fundamental change in your magnetic frequency. For years, you were vibrating at the frequency of struggle, lack, and resistance because that was the frequency of your exam. Now your frequency has been upgraded. You are now vibrating at the frequency of resolution, abundance, and flow. This means that things, people, and opportunities that are a match for your old struggling frequency can no longer stick to you. This is why you may see certain people from your past begin to drift away without any drama or conflict. Their energy is no longer compatible with yours. This is why financial blockages may suddenly dissolve, and an unexpected opportunity, like a random phone call from an old acquaintance with the perfect project, will land in your lap. It feels like luck, but it is physics. The universe is now sending you resources that match your new energetic signature. You'll notice synchronicities increasing, seeing repeating numbers like 77 everywhere, hearing a song on the radio that answers a question you just asked in your mind, bumping into the exact person you need to talk to. This is the universe communicating with you, confirming your new alignment. Your breakthrough certificate grants you a new level of clarity. The confusion and brain fog that plague you during your test period will begin to lift. You will see the motives of others with crystal clarity, cutting through manipulation and false promises almost instantly. You will know instantly whether a situation is for you or against you. This is not you becoming judgmental. It is you finally accessing the innate wisdom you earned through your trials. You paid for this clarity with your tears and your pain, and it is now one of your most powerful tools. This is the moment where the universe stops testing you and starts trusting you. It is handing you the keys to the kingdom. The doors that were once locked to you will now begin to swing open, sometimes without you even knocking. Chapter 5. Walking out of the examination hall. Imagine the feeling of walking out of the longest, most difficult exam of your life. The initial feeling is one of dazed relief. The air smells different. The colors seem brighter. This is what is happening to you now. As you step out of the silent classroom of your trials, you are re-entering the world with a new set of eyes and a completely different energetic presence, and people will notice. This is a critical phase of your journey as a chosen one. Your new energy will act as a powerful filter. Those who are still deeply invested in drama, negativity, and victimhood will find your presence unsettling, even irritating. They won't understand why they can't draw you into gossip anymore, or why their complaints seem to slide right off you. They may accuse you of changing, of being distant or arrogant. Understand that this is not a personal attack. They are reacting to the fact that your light now acts as a mirror, exposing the parts of themselves they are not ready to face. Their discomfort is with their own reflection, not with you. You must allow them to fall away with grace. Do not chase them. Do not try to explain yourself. Your silence and your peace will be the only answer required. Conversely, you will begin to attract a new tribe. You will meet people who feel like you have known them for lifetimes. These are other souls who have either passed their own exams or are on a similar frequency of growth and authenticity. Conversations with them will be effortless, marked by a sense of deep recognition and mutual respect. They will see you, the real you, and they will not be intimidated by your strength or your depth. They will celebrate it. These are your true soul family, your divine collaborators, and they are being drawn into your orbit by the beacon of your breakthrough. You must also learn to navigate your own newfound power. During your exam, you were in survival mode. Now you are moving into creation mode. The habits of struggle can be hard to break. You might find yourself bracing for the next disaster, even when things are going well. This is the spiritual equivalent of a phantom limb. The pain is gone, but you still feel the echo of it. Your task now is to consciously practice receiving goodness. When a compliment comes, receive it fully without deflecting. When an opportunity arises, accept it without the old feeling of unworthiness. When a day is peaceful, savor it without waiting for the other shoe to drop. You are retraining your entire nervous system to understand that your new reality is one of safety, support, and expansion. It's about learning to breathe deeply again after years of holding your breath. Chapter 6. Your new curriculum is called Purpose. The breakthrough was not the finish line. It was the graduation ceremony that qualifies you for your real work, your true purpose. Having passed the universe's final exam, you have now been enrolled in a new lifelong curriculum. This curriculum is called Purpose. But this is not what you might think. Your purpose is not necessarily to build a global empire, write a best-selling book, or become a world-famous spiritual guru, although it could be for most chosen ones. The purpose is quieter, yet infinitely more powerful. Your primary purpose now is to fully and unapologetically embody the truth you have fought so hard to win. Your job is to be the living, breathing evidence of a breakthrough. Your purpose is to be so grounded in your own peace that your presence gives others permission to seek their own. You will not teach by preaching. You will teach by being. When your colleagues at work see you navigating stress with a calm that defies logic, you are teaching. When your family sees you setting healthy boundaries with love and firmness where you once enabled chaos, you are teaching. When your friends see you pursuing a life of joy and authenticity, even when it goes against the grain of societal expectation, you are teaching. You are a walking, talking permission slip for others to break free. The wisdom you gain from your exam is now a resource, not just for you, but for the world. You have a PhD in resilience. You are a master of alchemy, able to turn pain into wisdom. You will find that people will be drawn to you with their problems, not because you have all the answers, but because your energy tells them that you are a safe harbor, that you will understand their struggle without judgment. Your role is not to save them, but to hold a space for them, to listen deeply, and to reflect their own strength back to them, just as the universe once held a silent space for you. Your new assignment is to build. During the exam, you were being deconstructed. Now you are being asked to construct. Build the business, build the art, build the community, build the family, build the life that your soul was crying out for during the darkest nights. Every authentic act of creation you undertake sends ripples of healing and possibility out into the collective. Your joy is now a revolutionary act. Your peace is your power. Your authentic life is your sacred service. And your happiness is a powerful, energetic antidote to the despair in the world. Chapter 7. The next semester has already begun. You cannot go back. The person you were before the exam is gone, burned away in the crucible. Trying to return to your old life would be like a butterfly trying to force itself back into the chrysalis. The breakthrough is irreversible. But understand this, your learning is not over. The universe is not done with you. You have simply leveled up. The next semester of your life has already begun, but the nature of the tests will be different. The old tests were about survival. They asked, can you endure this pain? Can you survive this loss? Can you find the will to go on? They were designed to forge your foundation, to test your spiritual mettle. The new tests will be about expansion. They will ask, how much joy can you handle? How much love can you receive without pushing it away? How much success can you sustain without sabotaging it because it feels unfamiliar? How brightly can you shine without shrinking from the attention it brings? These are the tests of a creator, not a victim. They are challenges of abundance, not lack. You will be tested on your ability to receive a large blessing and use it wisely without guilt. You will be tested on your ability to accept deep, unconditional love without constantly waiting for it to be taken away. These new challenges require a new kind of strength, the strength to be happy and to allow yourself to be seen in that happiness. Your intuition, which you honed to a razor's edge during your trials, is now your primary guidance system. You must trust it above all else, even when it defies logic. It will lead you away from a good opportunity toward a divine one. It will tell you when to speak and when to be silent. It will be the compass that guides you through this new, uncharted territory of your purpose. Ignoring this finely tuned instrument will now have more immediate and noticeable consequences as the universe expects you to use the tools you've earned. The path ahead is not fully illuminated. It will unfold before you, one step at a time, revealed as you walk it. There is no syllabus for this new course. You are co-creating it with the universe. With every choice you make, every boundary you set, and every joy you embrace, the feeling of being a chosen one will shift from a burden of trial to a responsibility of light. The exam is over. The grade is in. Your breakthrough is here. Now the real journey begins.